SDIA35 Surabaya and SMPIA13 Surabaya. Our motion today is that internet is an effective tool in building children's mind. To open the debate, I call the first speaker from the affirmative team. Please welcome Ms. Naila.
Okay, you may start now.
Good morning, dear teammates.
Louder, please.
Good morning, dear my teammates, the team and judge. I'm Naila, I am the first speaker of the affirmative. They are today under the motion that internet is an effective.
Naila, louder.
Today I'll debate under the motion that internet is an effective tool in building children's mind. I'll talk about children can be creative with internet. My second speaker will talk about internet and children's most beneficial friend, and my first speaker will sum up me and my second speakers. Firstly, internet is an electronic communications network that connects computer networks and organizational computer facilities around the world.
Naila, louder.
While children means a son or daughter in plural. Back to my argument, children can be creative with the internet. Children can find inspirations in the internet. While browsing, children can find sites that can make them want to make the same thing. Just like the definition. There are some writings there and children can write there. And I ever opened that site, and there are many writings there. So children can write what they want to write there. So my conclusion is children can be creative with internet. So I believe this motion should stand.
Okay. Okay, you may start now.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow opponents and teammates, and the honorable judge. Today we are here to debate under the motion of resolve that internet is an effective tool on building a children's mind. And we, from the opposition team, strongly believe that this motion is false and should fall. Today, here I as the first speaker will deliver you my rebuttals against the affirmative team, deliver you my argument which is about why internet brings harm, and team split, where my second speaker will deliver the future impacts and how dangerous children use internet without being guided, and our third speaker will summarize our arguments and rebuttals. Firstly, I would like to rebut what the first speaker from the affirmative team has said. She has tried to tell you that this motion can stand because by internet, children can be creative. They can find sites that build and grow their mind. There is a site that she once explored that helps them express their opinion and what are their interests. Now, I would like to ask you, how would you say being creative when it has a possibility on falling on a bad side or being addicted towards internet and social media and some sites that aren't just good enough for children? We have various of writers and painters that has been guided and expressed their opinions and interests offline, such as Pablo Picasso, John Green, or other modern-day writers and painters. Now on to my rebuttal. The internet is not an effective tool in building children's mind because internet has many disadvantages and brings harm. As we know, the internet is full of various sites and information. A part of them leads to a negative impact and brings a bad influence on children and the new generation society. And now, let's take a look on what harm does the internet bring and the statistics. 1. Pornographic content, something that is very common these days while children and teens use the internet. Based on data, 79% of 10 to 18 years old has seen this kind of content. Second, cyberbullying. Based on 87% of children has witnessed cyberbullying, and nearly 54% of them has said that they have experienced it. 15% of them has said that they did cyberbullying towards another children. Gaming, where it could be addictive. Social network. 40% of children have seen inappropriate sites and media. Predators. 50,000 sexual predators are on these internet and sites based on Garcha. After looking at these statistics and real-life evidence, would we still want these children, our new generation, to be harmed by this kind of internet? Children and teens are the ones who form a new generation, building and lead on what will happen in the future. If you think we can help their minds by showing sites and devices that produce digital entertainment is better than studying, inventive, and being a true child by playing and experiencing this situation around us, then you are clearly wrong. 99% of teenage children have used internet worldwide. Now, in my conclusion, that this motion is false, that internet is an effective tool in building children's minds, is false and truthful because internet has many disadvantages and harms. Thank you.
Okay, the first.
Alycia.
Okay, you may start now.
Hello, my name is Alycia. I'm the second speaker from the positive. First, I would like to debate the first speaker from the negative speech. She said that she mentioned many disadvantages from the internet. Children can use the internet with parents seeing, so the parents will know what will they see. Back to my argument. When children access the internet or watch visible screens in safe and public surroundings, the net can be their most beneficial friend. Groups of children can learn almost anything by themselves using the internet. I have evidence of from all over the world.
Louder, please.
With www.theguardian.com since 2009, a friend found that our house has been interacting with children in remote areas with great cultural advantage. So, in conclusion, we believe that this motion should stand because internet can be children's most beneficial friend. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikum.
Second speaker.
Oh, second, yeah.
Okay, you may start now.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, honorable judge, fellow opponents, and teammates. I'm Shava. I'm the second speaker from the negative team. Today's motion is that internet is an effective tool in building children's minds. So I will debate what the first speaker and the second speaker from the affirmative team has stated. The first speaker from the affirmative team has stated that children can be creative with opening one of the sites on the internet. Children can be creative not just with internet. Their teacher can teach them everything. Plus, when children use internet, they could lose of social communication. And the second speaker from the affirmative team has stated that children can study by themselves. You said on the rebuttal to my first speaker that they can use parental guidance, and now based on your argument, a group of children can explore by themselves. And well, it is internet, and there are so many things that can disturb them, such as game, and then like game online, and then websites that make them like feel annoyed with it, and they will just open it. Obviously, they will just open it because it's interesting for them. And on to my points. Internet has many sites that can be opened by everyone. Children have great curiosity of something. there are so many sites that have an unpolite content. For example, pornography. Repeatedly viewing pornography, especially from a young age, can radically shape one's sexual attitudes and beliefs. In 2010, out of the million most popular websites in the world, 42,337 were sex-related. This is according to Forbes. From July 2009 to July 2010, about 13% of web searches were for erotic content in billion week life. And point viewers considered crime of rape less serious. Do you want your children being raped and think it's fine? No, right? And obviously, they will think in their mind that rape is okay and it is normal. But the actual rape is abnormal and it is abuse children and their victims. So could you say that internet is building children's mind? No, right? So, in conclusion, that this motion should fall and should be forgotten because of children have great curiosity and they can open sites that have an unpolite content. Thank you.
Okay, you may start now.
Hello, students and fellow students and judge. My name is Caca and I will be the speaker from Philippines. First of all, I will provide the first and second speaker from negative. First speaker from negative team said that internet gives bad impact for children. But do you know many children that browse in internet is just like about history, like how to make something. Is it bad? It can useful for children. And second speaker from negative team said that many sites that bad for children, but the children not really open that site because their mind not really go there. They will, when they use the internet, they only like browse something that they want. And I will review my first and second speaker. And my first speaker said that internet can make the children creative. Yes, it's correct. Do you know when we search in internet, we can search about how to make something that can make we creative and know about all. My second speaker said that the internet can be their most beneficial friend. Yes, it's correct. Internet can be our beneficial friend because they can give the children know about something that useful for their future. So in conclusion, our team believes that this motion should stand because when the children use the internet, they can be use it for study, browse something that use for their
Baca, close it.
Okay,
That's all the debate.
third speaker from the affirmative team spent 2 minutes 2 seconds.
Okay, thank
Now,
you.
1 minute. Yeah, last now.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, fellow teammates and opponents. Today's debate motion is that internet is an effective tool in building children's mind. As a negative team, we disagree with this motion due to some reasons that I will explain to you later. So, the first speaker of the other team has stated that children can be creative with the internet and that they can find sites which are inspiring. Well, did you know that their minds will get even more creative when they explore their neighborhoods and in their schools? For example, John Green, a novel author of The Fault in Our Stars, he went to Amsterdam to write The Fault in Our Stars, and as the result, the readers can feel like they are brought to Amsterdam because when he went to Amsterdam, he knows what is inside of Amsterdam and that the book feels more lively rather than if he only did internet research. And this novel made 16 million US dollar alone. So he obviously doesn't need the internet, right, to make this much amount of money. Their second speaker has also stated that children can open the internet with their parents' guidance. And then later mentioned that groups of children can learn anything by themselves. What do you mean here? It seems like there's confusion. You mentioned themselves, but before you mentioned they can search with their parental guidance. Oh, and by the way, if they do open creative things by their own, will there be advertisements which advertises bad impacts, for example, casino advertisements or porn? Their last speaker has also mentioned that, many children can browse the internet for DIY project or about history or their school's curriculum. But as I mentioned before, there are advertisements that can easily pop up automatically which advertises bad impacts for them. And she also mentioned that when we research the internet, it makes us creative. Well, painters of the past, say Leonardo da Vinci or Picasso, they do not need the internet to, make good paintings. They made great and creative paintings, right? And in the past, they obviously didn't have the internet. So I would like to summarize my team arguments on why we disagree with this motion. The internet has many disadvantages for children and brings harm. 79% of 18 years old teenagers have seen pornographic contents. And also, 87% of children are cyberbullied. Well, do you want these 2 points, cyberbullying and pornographic contents, to be planted in their children's minds? It's a bad impact for them, right? And also, my second speaker has told us that there are pornographic sites which are bad for children and basically anyone. In 2010 alone, there were 42,337 websites which are sex-related, as mentioned by Forbes Research. And from July 2009 to 2010, 30% of web searches were sex-related. The bad effect of porn is that children could think that rape is a normal thing, but it is not. So we disagree with this motion because internet has many disadvantages for children, and that there are pornographic sites which are bad for children. Thank you.
Okay, the third speaker the last speaker has spent 4 minutes 3 seconds.
Nice. Okay, that's all this second debate. I'll see you again tomorrow.